Shalom Yeladim. Remember, there are 2 Parshiot this week, so we are going to do the Parsha questions for the first Parsha, Vayakel, right now. And tomorrow, you're going to have part 2, where you're going to have the Parsha Pekudei. We're going to go over the questions. So you can open up your Parsha book if you have it. If you don't have it, you can pause it and go run to get it. And then play it again. And then we're going to do the questions now. Parshat HaShavua, Parshat HaShavua, Vayakel, Vayakel, Parshat HaShavua, Parshat HaShavua, Vayakel, Pekudei. So what is the name of this week's Parsha? So the answer is going to be Vayakel and Pekudei. Say it with me. Vayakel and Pekudei. What's the name of this week's Parsha? Everyone say it with me. Vayakel and Pekudei. Awesome. Number 2. Who did Moshe gather after he came down from Har Sinai? Bnei Yisrael. Men, women, and children. Who? Bnei Yisrael. Men, women, and children. So we're going to go back to the first question. What's the name of this week's Parsha? Vayakel and Pekudei. What's the name of this week's Parsha? Vayakel and Pekudei. And who did Moshe gather after he came down from Har Sinai? Bnei Yisrael. Men, women, and children. What special mitzvah did Moshe tell them about? Building the Mishkan. What special mitzvah did Moshe tell them to do? Building the Mishkan. So we're going to go back. Number 1. What's the name of this week's Parsha? You got it. Vayakel and Pekudei. Second question. Who did Moshe gather after he came down from Har Sinai? You got it. Bnei Yisrael. Men, women, and children. What special mitzvah did Moshe tell them about? Building the Mishkan. You got it. On what day of the week was work on the Mishkan not allowed, when it was forbidden? On Shabbat. How many different kinds of work may we not do on Shabbat? The answer is 39. The Lamed Tet Melachot. Because Lamed is 30, Tet is 9. So there's 39 things that they did in the Beit HaMikdash, in Mishkan, when they built the Mishkan, that we are not allowed to do on Shabbat. Now your coloring sheet this week has some of them, so you'll be able to see what some of the Lamed Tet Melachot are. So let's go back to the beginning. What is the name of this week's Parsha? Vayakel and Pekudei. Who did Moshe gather after he came down from Har Sinai? Bnei Yisrael. Men, women, and children. What special mitzvah did Moshe tell them about? Building the Mishkan. And on what day of the week was work on the Mishkan not allowed? Shabbat. And how many different kinds of work may we not do on Shabbat? 39. Number 6. What materials did Bnei Yisrael donate for the building of the Mishkan? Well, we had this as a question a couple of weeks ago. You know that. Gold, silver, copper, wood, oil, and spices. Say it with me. Gold, silver, copper, wood, oil, and spices. Odpam. Gold, silver, copper, wood, oil, and spices. What did the heads of the tribes donate? If you remember from the Parsha, they waited to see what everybody else would bring, but other people brought so much that the things that were left for them were the precious stones, the olive oil and the spices. But the most important thing is to remember they brought the precious stones. That's what the leaders brought. And who were the 2 men in charge of building the Mishkan? So last week we heard about a builder. What was his name? You got it, Bezalel the builder. So the 2 people in charge were Bezalel and Oholiav. Bezalel and Oholiav built the Mishkan. Built the Mishkan. Bezalel and Oholiav. Bezalel and Oholiav built the Mishkan. So I'm going to go over it one more time, okay? And you're going to answer. What's the name of this week's Parsha? Excellent. Vayakel and Pekudei. And who did Moshe gather after he came down from Har Sinai? Excellent. Bnei Yisrael. men, women, and children. And what special mitzvah did Moshe tell them about? Building the Mishkan. Awesome. On what day of the week was work on the Mishkan not allowed? You got it, Shabbat. And how many different kinds of work may we not do on Shabbat? You got it, 39. What materials did Bnei Israel donate for building the Mishkan? Gold, silver, copper, wood, oil, and spices. And what did the heads of the tribes, what did they donate? You got it. Most important was the precious stones. And who were the two men in charge of building the Mishkan? Betzalel and Ahaliav, Betzalel and Ahaliav built the Mishkan, Amazing job. Now, if you're not sure if you know the answers, you can always replay the video or look over your Parsha sheet, and then when you're done with that, you can color in just for Vayakel. Tomorrow we'll do Pekudei.